Okay, I'm gonna try from here. So, the past 3 weeks, all of the intro to Ashtanga has really been like about the physical body. And in yoga, we look at a person as having several layers. And so that's the first layer, is the layer of the food body. These layers are called koshas. So if you wanted more information on that, you can go look that up. It's KOSHA. So the food body, and any kind of exercise that we do, physical exercise, is going to affect that food body, our physical body, in positive ways that are good for us. The thing that yoga kind of goes a step further with is that we start talking about it, these other layers. So the next layer in is the energetic body, the prana maya kosha. And that energetic body is made up of things, like we call these things, they have names. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on that, but just to kind of make my point about why having a daily practice of yoga, how that's important, because it helps us to connect with this energetic body. So, let's see. There we go. Good. Okay. So the orange one here, these are the vayus, and the vayus are like energy currents. I think vayu translates directly as wind, but I like to think of it as energetic currents. And so there's the apana current that goes downward. This is like elimination. It's menstruation for women. I think what else, like a downward flow, but it's also just like the downward flow. I don't know. I feel like as I got older, when I was a kid, I had boundless energy, like running around all the time, and could pretty much do like anything with my body. And the older and older I got, I felt like this current, kind of got stronger, where like, walking around even like could make me tired, because that current seems to, I don't know, like there's like so long of a period in your life where it seems like we shoot up and we've got all this upward energy to grow and, mature. And then once that's happened, then we start to decline. So there's that downward flow of energy there, the apana. Then the prana current that starts like a little bit below your rib cage, somewhere around there. And that one is an upwards energy. I've also seen, you'll find different descriptions of all of these, but I've seen prana is described as kind of a cyclic one too, like flowing up and down. So coming down, into the lungs and then coming back up somewhere around the throat. But at any rate, it's an upwards energy, right? And then in the middle of that, like about at the belly button and then radiating outward, is the samana current. And that one is responsible for like digestion and assimilation of food that we take in to manifest our physical body. So those are the vayus. And then the little numbered things there, I've numbered some of the major chakras in the body, starting out at the very bottom. Like kind of, it looks like sort of like between the legs of the little person. That is that base chakra, and that's at that spot that we talk about, like lifting the pelvic floor. And then the next one up is kind of like behind the pubic bone. What do you need? Behind the pubic bone, and that one we kind of affect and when we're saying, to pull the belly button towards the spine, because all of those abdominal muscles down there like pull back towards the spine and sort of lift that second chakra up as well. And all these chakras, you can look those up to the names and everything, but I don't think that for what we're going to talk about today that's that important. But what is important, let me get my other drawing, is that, so see the little feet? There are chakras in the feet. And so the way I like think about this stuff is that we draw energy up from the earth, from our feet. And when we do this yoga practice, we can consciously like try to think about drawing energy in from our feet and up, through the legs. So by using that pelvic floor lift and then also pulling the belly button towards the spine, we lift a little higher at 2. And so what that does is we can actually like reverse that downward current, right? So a prana that's normally going down from, somewhere a little below the belly button, down and out of our bodies. In this yoga practice, we try to pull the energy up. So from those, and there really are like major chakras in your feet. I don't know what those are called, but I know you can look that up and read about that. But so we're pulling the energy up by using those physical body techniques of lifting the pelvic floor, pulling the belly button towards the spine to pull some of that apana energy back up. And then once we get it up to like the level of the third chakra there, we can kind of try to hold it there, because then as we're breathing in, so like down, like the fourth chakra is like in the heart and lung area. So I have another drawing for that. Let me get it. So, okay, so here it is. So here's the energy coming up, and it's coming to the third. Now remember, was it a couple of weeks ago that we talked about this thing, the diaphragm? This is my funny drawing. This isn't all of the ribs. It just was to like give an idea. But so here's in green, here's that diaphragm, and the diaphragm, pushes up under the ribs to expel the air out, and then it flattens out to like create like a loss of pressure so that air can rush into the lungs. So it's going like this, right? Let's pretend like where that green is, that my hand is actually the diaphragm. So you breathe in, it flattens out, and then you exhale and it comes up. So when this is happening, the way I imagine it, see these arrows coming up, is that this apana current that's coming from the legs, and that we've got all the way up here to the belly button, that then this, when it comes down, the diaphragm comes down and like flattens out over it, and when it comes up, it's like it sucks a little of that energy on up towards the heart. So I don't know if you can kind of see what I'm saying there, but so we inhale, and because we're holding that pelvic floor, we've created like some pressure in there, some suction, because then when this exhale comes, it's going to suck that energy up from apana, is going to come all the way on up through until it meets with the prana current, okay? So that's what this one was showing. So when we, like when the air comes in, and then when we exhale and the diaphragm goes up, we're going to pull a little bit more of that energy up into the heart area. And then the way I imagine this, and I have no idea, like, this is just my ideas, but I think that once you get some of that energy that had been flowing downward, get it up to the heart area, then like our bodies, like to do good work, mentally as well as physically being really very healthy, and our heart gets so healthy that like we feel really good and we end up doing really good work. And so this is kind of, this little spiral is like there are chakras in your hands as well, and I'm just kind of showing that as energy coming out of the hands. So another thing that I wanted to make sure and mention is my teacher has told me, and I know I have this written down some places, one of the first things that I wrote down is that one of her teachers told her that if we can get, the energy here to the third, if we can just bring it to the heart area, if we can get energy up to the heart area, that God, whatever your idea of God is, will come down and meet you there at the heart. and do the rest of the work for you, you know, help you with it. So, okay.